Well, community, I'm here to do the Vinyl Tag 2021, and I saw Chris Cole's video this morning and just decided to do it today. So I enjoyed a lot of the Vinyl Tag videos, and I think it's great questions. It has to be hard to do the questions each year, so thank you so much, Tales from the Crate, who starts this every year, I think. So here we go. First question, a discovery of 2020. I don't listen to new music really. Very few new artists is spinning at my home. There's just too much music from the past to explore. The artist that I really dived into in 2020 is actually this guy, Ian Carr. So Nucleus, I listened to that a lot, but also the Don Rendell reissues that they brought out. So Ian Carr is definitely someone that will I will continue to listen to and collect during 2021. Okay, so the next question is a quarantine buy, and I think that 89% of all records I bought 2021 was quarantine buy. So is this. But there's a fun story about this. I actually ordered this early 2020, I think, or even late 2019. The reissue of Art Ensemble of Chicago's La Danse à Sophie. I have had the original press, but I traded it against a very rare psych record, and I missed the music so much, so I just bought the reissue. Now I placed the order in January. I think it took to August before I got the copy. Cool story, and a quarantine buy, definitely. LP you want to find in 2021, and this is probably the one that I'm gonna focus a lot on. I did a video just recently of my top wants on Discogs, and this was the second best want, or the second most want. But I think I'm gonna really focus on getting a copy of an original press of Comus this year. Fingers crossed. Okay, so the next one is show a box set, and I'm not a huge fan of box sets really, but I have a few, and this one I'm really happy that I got when it was released. This is Cannes, the Lost Tapes, between so outtakes and live recordings, stuff like that, from 1968 to 75. It includes an awesome kind of booklet, a lot of information, and here's all the records. I think there's like 5 or something. So yeah, happy that I got that when it came out. Maybe I'm gonna cheat here, but show a concept album, and I mean I guess that this is a concept album. The concept is his love for God, A Love Supreme with John Coltrane. This is a first US stereo press in like mint condition. It's such a good record, like one of the best, like maybe top 10 jazz records. Okay, so I'm reading an album where an artist or a band changed directions, and I don't even know if he really changed directions, but it's some of the same artists, but something definitely happened during the recording or the process of writing this. This is Bo Hansen's self-titled record from I want to say like 82 or something like that. And I think it's the last record that he released. This is so far from Lord of the Rings and The Magician's Hat that you can come. It's almost like he was trying to do sort of proggy, radio-friendly songs. I'm not a huge fan of this, as you can hear, but for a prog nerd like myself, collecting Swedish prog, it's kind of a cool record to own. I got this for like 5 cents back in the day. Okay, so a white label promo. Dennis Wilson, Pacific Ocean Blue. There's the white label. Fantastic record. One of my favorite records. Okay, so show a compilation record, and this is sort of a compilation and a soundtrack. I love this record. This is the compilation of the music from Stalker and The Mirror, Andrei Tarkovsky's movies from the 70s. And it's composed by Edward Artemiev. Great soundtrack. Very suitable for the film, and then I really do think that the soundtrack that I have for Solaris is even better, but still a great compilation of soundtrack. soundtracks for the movies. Okay, so the next one tells a record that tells a story. I got married 3 years ago. När gifte vi oss? Så 3 år sedan i år. Okay, so 3 years ago this year. The day after the wedding, we went to Gothenburg just to get away and relax, and we went there for like 2 days. Slept at a hotel, and we ate really good on a great restaurant, and drank a lot of wine and beer and stuff like that, like we do, and we like, me and my wife. And we also managed to squeeze in some record store. Can you imagine? And this one I bought in the last shop, I think. It was high up on my want list of Swedish jazz records. It was there in great condition for a fantastic price. So this is Bernt Egerblad Trio with Schizo. Yeah, a very rare Swedish jazz record with a super like flimsy cover, very delicate cover. You rarely see them in intact or in good shape on Swedish. So obviously I will never part with this, because this is sort of my honeymoon record or marriage record or whatever you want to call it. An album that needs a vinyl pressing. Definitely this. I mean, this was the one that came on top of my head. This is Swedish Coma with The Second Wave. They made a EP, I think, on CD called Tsunami, and then they released this back in 2006. I think they have released 2 records or 1 record after that. It's one of the members of Cult of Luna is in this, the guitarist, I think. This is a phenomenal like doom pop metal record. There's not a bad song, and the good ones are just insanely good. And if I'm compiling like a top 50 Swedish records of all time, this is definitely on that. So it desperately needs a vinyl release, because it's only been released on CD. Okay, so a common album and an uncommon album. This is the common album because I thought of this because I've spun it a lot this year. This is the Allman Brothers live at Fillmore East. Very common, but fantastic. Classic live stuff. I mean, everyone, I think, in the vinyl community owns a copy of this. Whipping Post shit. The uncommon album is this one. So this is a Miles Davis live recording. I think it's during the My Funny Valentine tour he did. That's at Lincoln Center, sorry. But I managed to find this, but as a white label promo or a test pressing. I don't know. I've asked a lot of highly regarded jazz collectors, but no one has really told me what it is, because no one has ever seen it. I found it in a thrift store for €1. It was without a cover, so I don't know if it was released like this, or if it came with this cover. But someone has dropped that. It's in like unplayed condition, so it's a very sort of strange thing to end up in Sweden and in a thrift store. But now it's in my home, and I don't know what to do with it really, except for play it, obviously. But I don't know if I'll get this cover or whatever I'll do. Let's see what the future holds. Okay, so an EP. I don't have EPs. I couldn't really think of an EP, so I'm gonna jump that question. A girl group. This is embarrassing, but this was the hardest question. I was thinking like, I have to have something, just a girl group. But the only real group that I have female singer-songwriters and folk artists and stuff like that, and prog artists, but not a group per se. So this was the only one that I could really muster to think of in my collection. Dreamboat Annie with Heart. And I don't even know if Heart is just a girl group, really, or just the front singers are girls. So, yeah, I'm pretty embarrassed about that. An album cover I love. This is probably my favorite album cover of all time. Message from Books and Dreams. The krautrock masterpiece. Such an evil cover that suits the music perfectly, and it's also so cool that everything else with Message sounds totally different. It's just like they made a deal with the devil to release some of the most evil kraut music in the world, and then just the devil just let them go. The album, or an album that you listen to the most, the one that I thought of right away that I think is the one that I've spun most during my collecting years, is probably this one, On the Beach with Neil Young. This is probably the one that gets the most play here in my house. I love this record. Not a bad second on this, and my favorite Neil Young record, today at least. Okay, so a record I had to get a OG of, and actually I did it last year, 2020. This is Karen Dalton. In my own time I had a reissue long, and I knew that there were a original copy for sale. I knew about that maybe 2 years, and it never sold because it was too expensive. So one day I just decided to give the man an offer, and he took it. So I got it for a great price. It's in fantastic condition, original press, so I sold my reissue, and I'm a happy camper. Okay, so the last album I purchased that I have shown in a VC video, because I don't want to show records that I haven't shown yet, has to be this, the Dossier, Galactic Soul Dossier with Kingdom Come, Arthur Brown. And check out one of my videos, my latest Vinyl Finds video, where I talk about this and how I Frankensteined it into a perfect copy almost, with the poster and everything. Super glad to secure that and put it in the shelves. Okay, so this one, an album they don't get. I don't know who they are, but I interpreted they as my friends. I have two collecting buddies, and I played this for them, and they really didn't understand it. They really didn't think it was good even. So I'm picking this. This is Vangelis Earth on Vertigo. It's a fantastic sort of dreamy, earthy world, I don't know, record. Progress shit. Awesome, fantastic. If you don't own this, get it. 2 more questions to go. A punk record, and yes, I think this is a punk record. It could be a garage sort of group, but fuck it, I'm gonna show it, because I never see this in the VC, like never. This is the Corpse Grinders, 80s sort of band on, let's see here, New Rose Records. I don't know if they're English, and I've had it for years and years, and every time I play it, I think it's just like super, super good. And yeah, and this is the second one that I have, Valley of Fear. I think this is a compilation, and this is the only record that they released. But I mean, highly recommended. And favorite reissue of 2020, the only new reissue I think that I bought, or I got from my friend Christopher up in north of Sweden. This is Bored Civilians by Keith Cross and Peter Ross, released on Record Store Day. Monster record. So I'm done. So that's my vinyl tag of 2021. Awesome. Yeah, if you have questions, just hook me up down below, and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.